All right. Hello, hello. I didn't have enough water yesterday and my voice started cracking towards the end. I could feel the tickle. So I needed water today. Oh, but ice in it. It's cold. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you have not been here before, we are here today on our third day of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge. So if you haven't been here before, pause, stop. You can still go and watch days 1 and 2, okay? Go back. Go back. So literally just go if you're on watching on Instagram, you can go to the YouTube channel, Pampered and Lux. It's also in the bio. And you can still just rewatch the live from day 1, day 2, and take it one day at a time, and then come back for day 3, okay? Because it all builds on each other. This is a journey that's supposed to be done one day after the other so that you actually gain the most out of it. We're not gonna dip in and out. If you wanna dip in and out, take your time. You don't have to rush it. You don't even have to go if you feel like, "Okay, I need to process all of the information I just learned about myself from yesterday. I need to take 2 days with that." Then do it. Just don't skip ahead. Follow the day that goes directly after it, okay? Because it's really built to be done that way so that you can actually reset your life and your mindset so that you can change your life, okay? We're here to reset so that you can exact change. All right. You can embrace that power. You can start feeling confident. You can revitalize your life, all of it. Okay. But first, we just start with today. And today, as always, affirmation, gratitude, and appreciation. Let's go. Oh, I do want to make sure I write them down. The last time I did this journaling challenge, I didn't write them down each time. And I was like, oh no, I wish I had. So I want to make sure I write down all of mine each time instead of just giving them straight to y'all. But here I go. Okay, so for me, the daily affirmation, we'll start with the affirmation. That's what I feel. Hmm. And always be comfortable with sitting with yourself in silence while you're thinking. If you're just trying to figure something out, if you're just trying to understand, okay, what is really what's going on with me right now and how do I best appreciate myself, affirm myself, and bring gratefulness into my life? How can I do that for me right now where I am? How can I do that? So, I'd like to start off with I gratitude actually. I am grateful for fulfilling connections in my life. Boom. I'm grateful for fulfilling connections in my life because when they're not, it feels like something's missing. It feels like, am I really getting everything I could really get here? And you start to feel like maybe I'm the problem, but no, you need to be in a different you're in a different space now. So it's time to surround yourself with different connections. And that can be hard to understand. So one thing that I'm also appreciative of myself for, I appreciate the choices I make that enhance and hmm, curate long lasting, fulfilling relationships in my life. So that includes making sure I have, good relationships with sister, best friend, mom, whoever it is. All of these are different relationships in my life that I just really am proud of myself for the choices that I make and how those enhance and curate a specific fulfillment within those connections. Okay. And then finally, daily affirmation. Oh no. Ooh, okay. The live stream, I thought it had stopped. I was like, oh no. But we're going to continue on forward. Okay. So, my daily affirmation for today, I am attentive, caring, understanding, and hmm, empathetic with others and myself. And I think that's important to say. Whether you're building more of these traits with yourself or with others, it's important to make sure you have them with both, because how much care could you really give if you're not caring for yourself all the way? I guarantee you could have so much more to give if you receive as well, right? So, and then the other way around, if you're so busy about worrying about yourself, really how much are you going to receive um in terms of fulfilling connections from other people when all you're doing is taking and taking, taking? Eventually you're going to be around people who also take and take and take, and now y'all are just energy thieves together, and that's not cute. That's not a good look. It's just not. It doesn't feel good either, does it? I definitely know from experience that doesn't feel good at all. And no, life does not have to be puppies and rainbows and blissfulness in every single moment, but we don't have to make it harder on ourselves, right? So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and just go through the affirmation, gratitude, and appreciation for day 3 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge with you all one more time. Today, for day 3, my daily affirmation is I am attentive, caring, understanding, and empathetic with others and myself. My daily appreciation for day 3, I appreciate the choices I make that enhance and curate long lasting fulfillment in relationships in my life. I said that a little weird, but we got through it. Okay. And then gratitude. I am grateful for fulfilling connections in my life. So now that we've got our energy going good, we know what's going on now. We're going to go ahead and jump into the prompt. Now, with today's prompt, I'd like to implore you to be gentle with yourself. This is not a moment to beat yourself up. We're just looking back to understand what actions we've chosen in the past, what patterns or behaviors have become recurring, whether you still feel like you're stuck in that pattern or not. We're going to start using the word in the past because we're not going to take those things with us. Okay. And of course, there are going to be moments where it pops back up and you're going to need to address it right then. But that's what we're doing here today. We're going to intentionally have it pop up so that way we know when it unintentionally pops up and we can deal with it head on. We don't have to keep pushing it to the side and letting the past keep being the present and going into the future. Okay. We don't want that. Now, another thing I will say about today's prompt before I show you all is that it takes a lot to understand your true values. And sometimes it takes those values being overstepped or challenged in a way, or even completely overturned for you to realize that, oh no, I want to stick to those values. That's what it is for me. That's what it is for me. And that's just what it is. So evaluating your values, understanding what that actually means for you, and starting to make a list of your values can also help. But that's something we're going to get to a little later. We're just going to see where there was some dissonance within us and what was going on around us versus, um ooh, okay, yeah, versus something else. Sorry, I had to make sure I pulled up the right screen to share for y'all. So here we go. Today's journaling prompt is, and I'll read it, share it with you guys so that you can write it down. Make sure you write it down. If you feel like you didn't get a chance to write it down, it is posted on the Pampered and Luxed YouTube channel. And you can also always go ahead and go over to the Pampered and Luxe website and complete the full 30-day challenge there as a sort of mini course. You'll even get a little like badge certificate on your on your page once you finish it. And if you're actually a Present Journey Club member, you'll get a free gift when you finish it. So stay tuned for the rest of the whole journaling live stream today to figure out how you can be a part of that club and what that gift might look like. All right, here we go. So today's journaling prompt. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, let me show the Instagram peoples. It's the way I had to do a live stream on 2 different devices so I could, but anyways, we can talk about that on a different day. For day 3 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge, your daily prompt is, describe a time in my life when I was not acting or living according to my values or my previous perceived reality. Okay? Just write it down. I know it seems like a lot. It might feel like a big chunk. You might not even understand the question. So I'm going to break it down a little bit more, but go ahead and just write it down really quick. Okay? All right. I had to make sure I was still visible with the other live stream, y'all. Okay. So describe a time in my life, and I would highly suggest writing this in the first person. I apparently need to edit these posts that I made for Instagram because they don't say first person right now. So that's on me, y'all. But preferably in the first person, write down, describe a time in my life when I was not acting or living according to my values or previous perceived reality. Just try to digest the question on your own for a bit and understand what that means for you. I'll read that one more time and give you guys a few seconds to just go ahead and get it down. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and write it down too because I didn't write it down today. And that lets me know how long it takes y'all to write it down. Describe a time in my life when I was not acting or living according to my values or previous perceived reality. Okay, so you guys have definitely gotten it down by now. All right. And we'll go ahead and jump in. One thing I will say is that when you're describing this period of your life, I would like for you to not only describe the things that were going on, but describe your thoughts on what was going on, how you felt, um, if you were moving even your body differently, maybe you felt like you walked differently or you talked differently. Anything that felt like it was a change that you didn't even understand or realize that you'd made until afterwards. So just take a moment, write that down. Um, and when it comes to your values or your perceived reality of things, that just means, let's see, I'd like to break this down a bit further. just so that people can really gain the most out of this prompt today. Perceived reality happens when our life experiences, and the socializations that have been nurtured into us cloud the way that we experience reality going forward. Okay. That may seem like, okay, well, what do you mean? What? So let's talk about it. Okay. Um, when you were a 5-year-old, right? The best thing that had probably ever happened to you was maybe like some people say, "Oh, my 5th birthday was really cool. I loved it. It was amazing. That was the best thing that had ever happened to me up until that point." So, when other things happen after, let's say maybe you were 8 years old and you had another birthday party, but this one was like it was it was a cool birthday party. You had some friends over maybe, or maybe it was just your family there, and they sang happy birthday and blew out a candle, and that was it. Like, you didn't get any presents. But on your 5th birthday, you got all the presents in the world. You got so many presents, there were presents that you gave away, okay? So now you're on your 8th birthday, and you're like, "Well, I what what's happening here? Like, what I guess like, this is a bad birthday, like, because you're comparing it to your experience of receiving that first birthday experience, when in reality, having people near you who love you around, who are acknowledging and celebrating your life, that's a wonderful thing to have. They're even singing happy birthday. It's not even out of tune, but you don't even know how amazing that is because your frame of reference so far has been a different experience. So that's what perceived reality kind of is. It's understanding when you understand perceived reality, you understand that your experience is in the past, cloud how you feel and see experiences in the present and the future. And unless you intentionally decide to reframe those perceived values, thoughts, realities, you're going to continue to have those past experiences as a frame of reference. So let's say dating culture has also been really talked about a lot lately. Let's say that you are someone who actually grew up in, like, you're old enough to have gone on dates without meeting somebody online first. Like, you met people in person before there was so much online dating. It was wild. Okay. So you're used to that interaction, right? You're used to being able to, you go to the gym every day, or you go to this local coffee shop every day at lunch, and like maybe you have a little bit of conversation with this one person. After a few weeks, they approach you and you guys decide to go out on a date or whatever. That is your frame of reference for how it's supposed to go, right? If you ever feel like something is supposed to be something, that is your perceived reality, and that's a frame of reference from the past. And I'm smiling because I'm teaching myself something as well here, because when I said specifically that that frame of reference from before, it doesn't matter if it was the best thing or the worst thing. Anything that feels like it's supposed to is a perceived reality of how things are meant to be. These are the rules of life, and that's just how things work. If you're ever feeling super, super confused about life and the direction of it, it's time to address perceived reality, which also can be known as limiting beliefs. And I like to use the word perceived reality because it helps people understand that these limiting beliefs are not just things that say that you're bad or you're lacking. They're also the things that make you overconfident or tell you that the world is like out here to get you, or it tells you things that may seem positive or negative. It can tell you anything because that's just an experience that happened that was neutral. And now you've placed it in such a significance that this is just how things work. So if you want to stop feeling all that confusion and you want to stop feeling like you're supposed to do things, it's time to reevaluate your perceived reality, how you actually think things are supposed to go. Okay. So I'll give you guys a moment to think about that, digest that, while I just read the question one more time and maybe give you guys an example of this in my life. Okay. Describe a time in my life when I was not acting or living according to my values or previous perceived reality. I'm also thinking about a specific experience I'd like to share because not everything is meant to be shared. Sometimes you just need to digest something for yourself. Okay. So if you're someone who's like, okay, I want to share this in a community, you definitely can. You can join the Present Journey Club to do that, but also know and feel and discern when it's time for you to keep it to yourself. Okay. And I highly encourage that. Keep it to yourself if it's meant to be kept to yourself, and share with the world what is meant to be shared. Okay. And I like to share the messages that I know I need as well, because I know I'm not the only person out here who may be feeling and doing certain things, who may be experiencing life a specific way. So I'd like to share what I'm learning as I go, which also has been very new and wild and scary for me, like doing it as I go instead of doing it like kind of making the sharing portion and then waiting until I've passed that period of my life and then going and sharing the rest of it. But that's not how we do it. We're just I just need to share right now. That's what's meant for me to do. And when I do that, things fall into place. Okay. Um so that is actually something that I haven't always lived by or had the same value of. When I first started making videos on YouTube, I was like, okay, I want to share the knowledge that I've gained so far that has helped me continue to make better choices for me and go on my own personal growth journey. I did this on my YouTube channel, Zaria Ray Lee, and I put out the videos. I made a good batch of them at once and just kind of not even at once, but in a good few chunk of weeks. I made a lot of them and just kind of put them out, like put them out. So um at that time, I was not necessarily overthinking things. I was taking care of myself in specific ways that allowed me to not overthink things. And I was embodying the value that knowledge gained, especially knowledge that I feel no one specifically taught me. I just had to pick it up through observation or through my own experience, was meant to be shared. So I had that value. And then there was a period in time where I was like, okay, I'd like to enhance the value that I place on privacy. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to share certain things. I would still film it, I would still do my talk to the camera, but I wouldn't put it out because my value had changed. I had decided that certain um, experiences I was having weren't weren't aligned with the values that I was preaching. So I also started to feel a bit of imposter syndrome. I was like, okay, is this like, who am I? I literally started to feel so out of tune with what was going on because I was just going against everything that I already knew and valued. And that experience also let me know, okay, so you're diving more into the thing that is detrimental to you. It sounds like this is a self-sabotage binge. We might want to pay attention to what's going on here and decide what perceived reality allowed me to believe that this is actually where I'm meant to be instead of where I was, which was a pretty good place for me. And in examining that perceived reality, in deciding to actually deep dive, go in and understand, okay, why did I switch it up like that? Why did I switch it up and change my life to the worst like that? And I had to search and go within myself and decide that, oh, okay, I, I have specific beliefs about myself and the way the world works that are keeping me from going ahead and moving forward because I don't think that those are things that actually happen because that's not how it's supposed to work. Right. But not only does the individual's life change all the time, a person's life can change all the time, but society as a whole, the way that things work in the world, it changes like crazy because we're all changing. We're all changing, and the people that are doing things that impact other people, those are changing. Those people are changing. The things that they value change, the things that random other people value, those things change. It is all a big cacophony of change. Like, it's all there. So, if you're sitting here like, "I don't even wanna come to terms with the fact that I switched my life around and made it, like, in the dirt," then you're gonna have to pause and actually realize, "No, this is something you have to pay attention to in order to maximize your growth and in order to actually switch things back to a more aligned view of life with your values." Okay, hold on because the charger is not charging again, but we should be done shortly. I just wanted to finish. Oh, okay. Hold on, hold on. Oop. Okay, I'm gonna try to finish really quick because I want to wrap it up. Okay, so like I said, that's it for today's prompt. If you are interested in joining the Pampered and the Present Journey Club, just know what that actually means for you. And you can always go to pamperedandlux.com to just check it out. If you want to receive affirmation texts, you can sign up for the wait list here. These are the type of affirmations you'll get. Ooh, there we go. You go to pamperedandlux.com. The top says Present Journey Club. You'll click on that to see what exactly the Present Journey Club is. We're already open for enrollment, and the first group starts on February 15th. We're going to have different challenges. We've already had a 30-day Regain Your Power challenge that's available to the public. There's a 7-day Revitalize Your Confidence challenge available to the public. Currently, the Reset Your Life challenge is available to the public, but that one will soon only be for people in the Present Journey Club. So, if you're wondering what all comes with it, you not only do you get access to a Discord community forum where you can check in regularly and actually say, "Hey, this is